What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James. We back in these streets. We on these Saturday work streets, man. I just want to jump on here right quick and talk about the signing that happened yesterday. Very happy about this signing. Dante Fowler is back in the building, and I'm going to talk about the edge guys and what do we think about the edge guys, and I want to get your opinion about the guys that Cowboys have in the fold at the defensive end position. Make sure you give me your comments in this video below and tell me how would you rate the defensive ends currently on the Dallas Cowboys. Give me a grade so far. We're going to go through like each of the positions. We'll go through the players, talk about it right quick, and then obviously I want to hear all your comments in this video so I can go through them. I like looking at them and reading them. So anyway, Dante Fowler comes back 1 year up to $8 million. That's awesome. Cowboys don't like paying a lot of money, but who cares? Dante Fowler's back in the building. Literally, we just had a show Tuesday talking about guys, and Boss had brought up how Cowboys kind of did him dirty and they should bring him back, and I'm going to be frustrated if they don't. So it's awesome. Not saying that we did it. Not saying that happened. The show came up and then they signed him. Not saying nothing like that. But it is an awesome thing to actually talk about Dante Fowler coming back, especially after he made the tweet where he's saying, I don't be getting paid what I should when I'm killing all these other guys out here in these streets. It's effed up. And we talked about it. We all were on board with getting Dante Fowler back. I loved him when he was here. I didn't really want him to leave, but I knew the circumstances because he had, 10 sacks in 2 years here, and that was very, very small part-time duty. Dante Fowler, like I said, is a sack artist. That's just what he is. You have certain guys that are coming to NFL, and they may not be, a guy that can do the run and the pass, might be better at the run than the pass, might be better in the pass than the run. But there's certain guys out there that come out there, and I mentioned Dwight Freeney, and I'm not saying him, but Dwight Freeney would just get sacks. You feel me? Like he played for like 100 years, seemed like, but that man was always getting you sacks. And I feel like that's what Dante Fowler's his calling card is. You put him in there, he's gonna get you sacks. 10 sacks last year, or 10 and a half sacks last year. Dog, I'm glad he's back because, like I said, I liked him since he was in Florida. I liked him when Jacksonville drafted him because he looked sleek in that black. And then when he got cut and he went to the Rams and he turned up, I was like, man, I wish we could get a Dante Fowler. I wish, because he's just a guy that will always get in that backfield. And you saw when he came with the Cowboys what he did in the part-time. So I'm glad he's back in the fold. He definitely deserves it. There's a relationship with his father. He's been on the show a couple times. So all the way around, love the Fowler signing. Love that he's back. And let's just talk about the defensive end position right now, from free agency to the guys they have now, and just the grade. So you got Dante Fowler in the fold. Obviously, they just had a drill with Sam Williams. And this is the thing. Sam Williams, Michael Parsons. We already know Michael. I ain't going to explain Michael because he's an animal. He's a monster. We already know what he brings to the table. But I have always been having that vision of Fowler on one side, Parsons on the other. That would have been nasty. We always talked about how they liked each other when they came out, and you saw flashes from Sam Williams. A lot of people got frustrated with Sam Williams. Now, first of all, I was on the Sam Williams train when he was getting drafted. When he was at Ole Miss, I made a video about him. And I actually picked the round that he would get drafted in by the Cowboys. In a mock draft that I did, I mocked him, and that's where he got picked. Now, I ain't saying I'm nobody. I'm just saying I wanted him and mocked him. And I said, now be careful, because he doesn't have a lot of stuff in his toolbox. He just got a lot of speed, and he has some red flags coming out. So just keep your eye on him. And them red flags did show. Red flags did show for Sam Williams. He has some inconsistencies on the field, on and off the field. Those are red flags I mentioned heavily in my video before he got drafted. Red flags are real. But maybe I think he might come to the spot where he's maturing, and somebody left. Won't talk about that guy no more. But now he was in that spot where you can come in and just be the guy. He said it was his time in his tweet. I really believe it is. I thought he was going to have a monster year last year before the injury because You seen the penalties he had, the offsides, the mental mistakes, but also Sam Williams said he was chomping at the bit to get on the field and play. And he has everything you want at that edge position: speed, power. Let's see if he continues to develop his moves. But Michael Parsons and Sam Williams on the edge, I feel good about that. And then if you talk about the backups, Marshawn Kneeland, obviously he had the knee injury, but honestly, he plays like that dude that just left. I mean, he's not going to be a high sack guy, in my opinion. I said that when he was coming out of school, when I watched his tape. But he has the innate ability that I had seen where he can gear down, where, either running back or quarterback's trying to get out of his grasp, he knows how to mirror and gear down and get those plays. And he's very good standing up or down, Marshawn Kneeland. And I think year 2 he will be better. He's going to be your stout run defender, not your high sack guy. He'll get the sacks off of twists, stunts, maybe somebody doubles somebody else. He gets free, he gets the sacks, but he's definitely going to be stout, and I think he's going to get bigger and stronger. So he's going to be that stout guy that can really set that edge on the defense. And I don't know how high his ceiling is going to be, but he's going to be a steady, good player while he's here in Dallas. I really believe that. And then you got Fowler now, who's your other edge, and he's your part-time guy. He's sack master. So if you got a starters of Sam Williams and Micah Parsons and your backup of Marshawn Kneeland and a Dante Fowler, that feels good. Obviously, they picked up Peyton Turner. I don't even know if he gets out of camp. My eyes didn't deceive me with this Peyton Turner thing. I can't body 6'6", 260. You love the potential, but too many warts. I watched the tape and I was like, I don't know. But it ain't a big deal. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. And then when I seen on Twitter, and then Okoye gave the video, and once I listened kind of Okoye, it kind of confirmed my own thoughts. So I ain't really thinking nothing about no Peyton Turner. You got Tyrus Wheat. I don't think he's a bad player. He's a backup. He's a good depth piece. And then you can slide Solomon Thomas or Osa on the outside in certain bare fronts, certain different fronts when you're talking about the nickel and dime packages. So you can mix and match those guys. So you can still use a Solomon Thomas to create like a 4 or 5 edge guy. So as far as me with the edges, if I'm looking at the starters to the backups to the depth, I'm gonna give him a B. Could be a B plus just because Micah, he changes everything. You can give an A just on Micah, but I feel like Stan Williams is going to really take a hold of this. I'm hoping, but I think he's going to take a hold of this. And it's contract year coming up. You're trying to get a big contract, and we all know when guys' contracts are getting ready to come up, it's turn-up season. You got to get that deal. So I think you'll get the best from him. So that's why I think it's going to be good for this year. And then Fowler, the sack artist, I feel like Marshawn Kneeland gives you good the run defender ability, and can maybe get some sacks here and there. So I'm gonna give it a solid B. Still doesn't stop you from drafting the edge. Maybe you don't have to draft the edge as high, but you definitely want to get one. In this draft, I definitely want to get one. You can never have too many. I don't know what round you want to go with because obviously receiver is still a huge need. Defensive tackle is a gigantic need. Obviously, you got Mozzie, you got Solomon Thomas, you got Osa, but you need a big boy in there. You got Rodgers, who you got back, who you drafted last year, but you need some space in there. You need a 335. Like I said, a Tyleik Williams out of Ohio State. I love him. I'm out here in the OHIO, so that's a guy that I really, really want. But Dallas needs to get a space eater, even if they can still scoop somebody in free agency. It don't even got to be some name dude. Just get some big space eater and then draft somebody. But Dallas needs a space eater to really help those edges, because you can have all the edges you want, but if you can't stop that middle and you can't stop that inside, the edges are just counterproductive in my opinion, because you're just going to gash you running wise. So you definitely got to pick up that defensive tackle. But since we're talking about edges, I'm going to give them a strong B from what they have so far. I definitely feel like they should draft. Maybe not as high now because you got some guys, but give me your thoughts. What do you think of the addition of Dante Fowler Jr. back in the fold with the Dallas Cowboys? And what's your grade for the defensive edges defensive ends that the Cowboys have on their current rosters, let's say the top four, Micah, Sam, Marshawn, and Dante, what would your grade be? I'm interested to hear. Big Game James, me and Mike White's popping it back tomorrow on Burgers and Blitzes. Make sure you tune in, because it's going to be fire. He been chomping that. He been talking all crazy on that damn Twitter like Mike. You know how Mike do. So I can't wait to talk to him again and have that show. So make sure you tune in. Big Game James. We out. Peace.